Oh, cool. Thank you very much. It's my wife, Becca. Thank you. Love you too. What's that? sure.
Duo number 1, Opus 36.
Oh wait, that's.
Yeah, I think you have killer 1.
Do you have the? Do you have the? I might actually looked. Oh wait. You have Focus 37.
37?
37.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Oh, actually, I have two for that. Is that
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
want to try the rondo?
Yeah, I'm scared, but let's give it a shot.
No, it'll be. Do you have 2-8? You have like 2-8.
2-8. What do you have?
I just coming on like that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to ask everyone to take your seats. There's no assigned seating. Just sit wherever you're comfortable. Welcome. Tonight we are honoring the class of 2024 Academy of Distinguished Engineers, previous Academy members, and the Gold Rising Star Award recipients. Real quickly, I do just want to give a shout out and a thank you to all of the key staff that have helped put this together today. So Noreen Wall, raise your hand. Thank you. Kate Kraus. Where are you, Kate? Kate Kraus. And Shannon Nichols. I think she may be outside, but, oh, there you are. Good, good, good. We are thrilled and grateful to be able to gather together for this important milestone. Please note that the food and bar will be available throughout the event, so feel free to move about the room.
Good evening. Thank you, Kylene. It's wonderful to be with you. As the Dean of College of Engineering, I am proud that I report to two amazing women, passionate, thoughtful, amazing scientists, strong women that I have been proud to serve for the past few years. It is an honor to invite President Rodenka Marek to the podium now. Rodenka joined UConn in 2010 as a senior faculty member, as an amazing scientist in fuel cell, developed really an outstanding laboratory and a research group, but soon she moved on to be the vice president for research for the university, and before that, executive director of innovation partnership building. And 2 years ago, she was appointed by the Board of Trustees of the University of Connecticut as the 17th president of the University of Connecticut. Rodenka.
Good evening, and great to be with all of you. You know, this is a special event because I feel I'm at home and I'm with my extended family, and I have all of those cozy feelings when you get like snagging like cousin with his grandchildren. So that's why I feel when I'm in College of Engineering. We always have to be careful not to go and say School of Engineering, because this was a huge milestone for us to advance and be College of Engineering. And I see many family members, I see colleagues for many years, industry partners, our alumni, I see Melanie, and all of those, amazing, alumni whose life changed because of UConn. And all our great faculties. And I heard somebody says the other day, they are the builders and they are the steppers at UConn. And I said, can you elaborate more? And they says builders are people who came and they stay for a long time at UConn and they make a difference. They are committed to students, they are committed to staff, they're committed to faculty. And they are the steppers. And I says, who are the steppers? And they said, people who come, stay for a short period of time, build their CV, and they move and go somewhere else. So if I think of those categories, I would say there is no better builder than Kazem, because he dedicated so many years of his life to UConn. But it's not only that. I always says, when you are successful in convincing your children that UConn is the best school on the planet, then you are really, really investing in UConn. So all three Kazem's sons graduated from UConn, and they are successful successful business people and in everything that they do. And many of our students are successful because of the care and quality of education that the College of Engineering provides and all my faculty. So there is no better place to be tonight than being with you and celebrating success and celebrating what we stand for. And what we really stand for is Huskies forever and students first. Thank you all. Thank you.
And the other amazing leader that I report to, Provost Ann DeLeva, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs in the university. And before becoming Provost, Ann was one of the deans, Dean of the School of Fine Arts. And when I had the honor of working in that capacity with her, we worked to create a wonderful institute between College of Engineering, then the School of Engineering and the School of Fine Arts, where engineers can practice their creativity and learn from artists, and then artists can learn from engineering fellows on how to build things and how to make great ideas that they have to work. And then after Ann has moved on to the position of provost, she oversees 5 campuses, and 13 different colleges and schools, and many other institutes and centers. And again, I take pride in reporting to Ann. Ann, please join us, Provost DeLeva.
So it is so nice to be here with all of you this evening to celebrate. And I think these photographs, these beautiful photographs, remind us that this time of year is about both endings and beginnings all at once. So the ending of a very successful academic year, marked by our transition to a College of Engineering, marked by the start of new programs, new opportunities, so many achievements of our stellar faculty and our students. But also the beginning of new membership in our Academy of Distinguished Engineers, and congratulations to those who are being inducted tonight. This is a bittersweet moment because my friend Kazem, as you know, is stepping down as Dean of our College of Engineering. And when Kazem describes me as the boss, number one, I know better, having been provost for 2 years, to think that the provost is anybody's boss at all at the university. So number one. Number two, Kazem is really my mentor. When I became a dean, I had known Kazem on campus. I think everybody at UConn knows Kazem. But he was really a true mentor to me when I became dean, and his kindness, his thoughtfulness, his integrity, his passion for his work are things that I found absolutely inspirational in every way. So Kazem, thank you for everything you have done for me and for the university. And I will say the College of Engineering is really at the heart of our mission as a university. We are a land-grant institution. It is a mission of service to the state and to the nation. And in many ways, Kazem, in his tenure as dean of the college, has embraced our land-grant mission and brought it into the 21st century. And although I know you all would love to hear me read the Morrill Act of 1862, I won't. I will condense it to say that, in fact, what that Morrill Act did was very visionary, because it said we should combine what they called a classical education with professional education in agriculture and the mechanical arts. And so what we would call a liberal arts education and professional education in engineering and other fields. And when we look at the College of Engineering under Kazem's leadership, that expansiveness, that multidisciplinary approach is at the heart of everything engineering does. And when I started to list off here all of the wonderful partnerships that engineering has, business, the School of Fine Arts, CLES, data sciences, human rights, now nursing, the work that's been done through the Vignano Institute, really making sure that access and opportunity, that a UConn education in engineering is available to every student in our state and beyond. This is all work that has been embraced by this College of Engineering, by faculty, staff, and students under Kazim's leadership. And I know that that kind of expansiveness, that creativity, that commitment to service is also something that characterizes our Academy of Distinguished Engineers. And because I'm an art historian, I told Kazim that I would conclude with a quote from Leonardo da Vinci. So I will do that, the consummate artist and engineer. So from Leonardo for our evening: study the art of science, study the science of art. Develop your senses, especially learn how to see. Realize that everything connects to everything else. So thank you so much. Congratulations to our inductees. It's lovely to be with you this evening. Thanks.
Thank you, Anne. Tonight is about the Academy of Distinguished Engineers at UConn. Tonight is about celebrating the achievement of the inductees, your achievements, your excellence in scholarship, your excellence in community engagement, your excellence in being industrious, your excellence in leaving a mark and leaving an impact in communities and environments around you. Tonight is also an opportunity for your family members, for your colleagues, for our community at large to celebrate this with you. But I honestly believe that what we are celebrating is not this induction, is not getting together. What you should honor is what you have done to get you here. In many ways, this recognition is also a recognition for the College of Engineering, and I keep repeating that, I'll get that. It is a recognition for us in the College of Engineering of ourselves, of what you have done to generate scientists, engineers, industrious entrepreneurs like you. It is our way of celebrating the excellence in the College of Engineering. Now, some of you might actually have been here almost on a weekly basis or daily basis, and some of you might have not been on campus for many years now, and this is, you're visiting us, and hopefully not since you graduated, but not as often as you should have. But as you walk around the campus, you can't help but notice all the beautiful buildings that are going up, all the new facilities. But if you were here a few days ago, before students disappear, you would be impressed with the energy in there, with seeing all the students, what they do. Look, in our senior design project, and I'm sure that almost everyone has had an opportunity to be in Gampel Pavilion when the students are celebrating their senior designs and showcasing that. When you see their passion, when you see their hopes and their desires as they move on beyond UConn, then you get to admire really what this community is about. Now, if there are copies of our annual report on the table out there, if you browse through it, you get to see the details of some of the things that Provost Deleva mentioned. You know, some of the interdisciplinary programs that we have developed with all the partners across the university and beyond this university. You know, we work with University of Rhode Island. We work with industry closely. You get to celebrate with us some of the growth that we have seen. You know, we have increased enrollment over the past 10 years. It is amazing. Actually, more than tripled in the past 20 years. We have, over the past 10 years, we have quadrupled research expenditure, which is a metric for us in the College of Engineering in academia, one of the metrics on how do we measure the impact of our research. We have the number of women students have reached a new high in the College of Engineering. Dan is here, and Dan can correct me if I'm wrong, but for the first time last year, we surpassed 30% in admitted female students in the College of Engineering, a number that a few years ago, or a milestone a few years ago, Washington Post ranked UConn engineering as the #1 public engineering in the country, closing the gender gap. You have, the industrial partnerships that we have forged. Now, I see my colleagues here from Pratt & Whitney. I see Doug here that worked with us closely when he was in Sikorsky. I see the partnership that we have with General Dynamics and Electric Boat, and with hundreds and hundreds of other companies across the state, and actually beyond that. There are entrepreneurs. We are going to celebrate one of them later tonight that are coming out of College of Engineering with amazing ventures that they have put together. And as you browse through those annual reports and you see our pains and gains, I hope that you feel a sense of pride. However, we want to continue to do better. We want to continue to be smarter. We want to continue to achieve more. We want to continue to have more students, be able to touch more faculty, more families in our communities. But we cannot do it without you. You inductees, or you members of the Academy, there are about 20 of former members of the Academy here. You represent our best. And if I don't take this request to you, whom should I take it to? You need to engage us. You need to be with us. You need to mentor our students. You need to engage our faculty. You need to be part of our programs. We need your mentorship. We need your advice. So with that, I once again congratulate you wholeheartedly. I'm so proud of being able to share this moment with you, and I look forward to the rest of the evening with you. Thank you. So,
Great. Thank you, Chasm, for your comments and your insight. I would like to ask now for all of the current Academy folks to stand for us. Those of you that have already been inducted, just so folks can see who we have in the room here. I think they deserve a round of applause. Thank you for being here with us tonight. And with that, I think we're going to kick it off. The class of 2024, it's going to be emceed by Kelly Azaredo and also Scott Gear, or Andrew Gear, excuse me. And we're gonna kick it off. Kelly, would you like to come right up?
Thank you, Colleen. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. Let's begin. Our first inductee is Rashi Aki. Dr. Aki is the founder and chief executive officer at Agrid Energy, LLC. Dr. Aki launched Agrid Energy in 2016 with a vision for simultaneously improving the viability and financial stability of the American dairy farms through the carbon-negative production of renewable biofuels from cow manure and food waste. 2 of the digesters, located in Connecticut, produce renewable electricity. They are reducing the carbon footprint of dairy farms and the electrical grid and providing useful disposal for food waste. Dr. Aki, may I ask that you join me and say a few words?
Well, thank you, Kelly. I am honored to be here. I'm honored to be nominated. And, I just want to tell you a little story. Imagine 1988, and imagine at that time there were no cell phones and no laptops. There was mainframe. Imagine a young person, me, coming from India to US. Today's world, everybody seems to think that they know the world. Like, you're living in India, you know what US is like. You're living in, where everybody's cultures, there's a way to access information. But in those days, all I knew was I was coming to US for higher education, but I didn't know much about the culture at all. So here I am. I come into some of these classes, and I still remember Dr. Gibbs' Palmer class, and I'm really trying hard to understand his English accent. I know I'm good at English, but that accent, I just couldn't understand it. And then Dr. Anderson, he made me go in circles in thermodynamics. I just had a tough time. And then Dr. Monty Shaw, he became my thesis professor, and I think he gave me one of my most toughest advice. He asked me to integrate. Imagine a young lady who comes and he wears her Indian garb and has long hair and has this little bindi and is coming into this country, and he's like, if you don't integrate, people will hesitate to talk to you. And gosh darn it, I bought my first pair of jeans. I cut my hair short. And I still remember Dr. Koberstein's smile. He's like, who is this person now? I don't recognize myself of what I was in 1988. And so while all this was going on, this whole huge transition in my life, I also got married to Umesh. He's my husband. He's here. And 35 years later, we're celebrating our marriage still. And I still remember to this day, he came from India, and he was making snow angels because that was his first snow he had ever seen. So 3 decades later, I'm back here, and I want to thank Don Swinton for reeling me back in because I had forgotten UConn, I have to confess. I'm one of those people who don't show up every week. But I spent 20 years at DuPont, and I wanted to start my own business and be my own boss for a bit, and started this whole vision of, small digesters, small dairy farms, sustainability in a local setting. And I'm very proud to say that me, a UConn grad, was the first one to build the first on-farm digester in the state of Connecticut that produced electricity. I just want to thank Dr. Rudenka and all the members of the UConn community here for bringing me back in and honoring me with this. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Akee. Our next inductee is Saptarshi Basu. Dr. Basu is the Pratt & Whitney Chair Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering at the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Basu primarily works on multi-phase systems, especially droplets at a multiple length and time scales across multiple application domains, ranging from surface patterning to combustion. His research marries fundamental aspects of classical fluid mechanics, like vortex dynamics and swirling flows, and the interdisciplinary aspects of interface transport of droplets in multi-phase systems. Dr. Basu, may I ask that you join me to say a few words?
Thank you. It has been like 16 years after I am setting foot in UConn once again. I graduated in 2007, and then I came in 2008 for receiving the commencement. So after that, in 2010, I relocated to India. So it doesn't feel that long. I mean, I came in 2003 for my master's and PhD with Professor Setijan, and I actually gave up mechanical engineering. I was in the management consultancy, PricewaterhouseCoopers, after my bachelor's. So I worked there for 3 years. It was horrible. I thought that, okay. So after 3 years, when I actually got the chance to work with him, I realized that I have forgotten better part of mechanical engineering. I don't remember what Reynolds number is. I don't remember anything. And, it was an uphill task, with the open-ended courses and stuff like that. it slowly came back to me, and Professor Citizen was there always. And I learned to tinker with things, hands-on, lasers, cameras, etc. So this has been the place which taught me how to do research. And I have been doing that ever since in India. And working with all these phrases that you heard, multi-phase systems and other things, these are all basically fluid mechanics problems applied to gas turbines, to surface patterning and stuff like that. So I'm enormously indebted to Connecticut, especially to UConn. And well, many people have retired, but Professor Kazaronian was there. At that time, he was not the dean. Professor Citizen was just the chair. And at the time I graduated. And there are a few other faculties who have retired or may have like kind of a new faces I see in the department. But it's homecoming. Some of these areas I still recognize, but there are a lot of futuristic buildings and stuff like that. It feels good. It feels good to be back. And I cannot promise that we'll come back every year, but at least I will try to be around, okay, whenever I visit the US for any other purposes. So, but thank you so much. Thank you, UConn. Thank you, Professor Citizen. Thanks to the department. Thanks, Professor Kazaronian. And thanks, everybody, for this honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Basu. Our next inductee is Dr. Jacqueline Garofano. Dr. Garofano is the Chief Technology Officer at the Connecticut Center for Advanced Technology, an applied technology and training nonprofit organization. Since joining their executive team in April 2021, she has played a pivotal role in the organization's significant growth, securing more than $20 million in federal funded programs to the state. Dr. Garofano can't be with us today, but she will obtain her medal in the 2025 induction ceremony. Congrats to Dr. Garofano. Our next inductee is Daniel G. Goberman. Dr. Goberman is a Senior Technical Fellow for Material Characterization at RTX Technologies Research Center in East Hartford, Connecticut. His areas of expertise include surface analysis and failure analysis. His current position is the culmination of 16 years at the Research Center, preceded by 18 years at the University of Connecticut here at Storrs, Connecticut. Dr. Goberman, may I please ask that you join me and say a few words?
Wow, okay. It is always coming home when I come here. So that adds up to 34 years, those of you who find it challenging to do simple math. I'm honored, I'm touched, I'm overwhelmed. I love UConn. I have loved UConn since I was a kid. My father basically didn't even let us consider other schools. My older brother came here, I came here, my younger brother, and then 10 years later, my sister came here. I had no concept that I would ever leave UConn. Every opportunity here. I started in physics. I moved into the materials characterization group, then called metallurgy, master's, PhD, postdoc. I was given the opportunity to work in one of the labs, and I took it like that because I could teach too, and I love to teach. I could talk technology, it's what I do, but I would rather mention people. People matter. Students matter, educators matter. Every person I interacted with here changed my life in a positive way, gave me new meaning, gave me a path, gave me their knowledge. I realized, realistically, somewhere halfway through my undergraduate efforts, that I wanted to do that. I wanted to offer a path, offer new insight to people. Whether they are my students or my colleagues, I always try to offer something that maybe, whether it's technical or it's a pick-me-up because they're having a slow day, people matter. And I want to point out everybody here You all matter. And in some ways, we're all connected. I'm pretty sure the 7 degrees of Dan Goberman, I'd find a connection to almost every one of you. And I really appreciate it. And that's what I want to get across. That's really it. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for this honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Goberman. Our next inductee is Edward J. Grace. Mr. Grace spent 10 years at the MIT Instrumentation Draper Laboratory working on the Apollo program. MIT has a contract with NASA to design and develop the primary guidance, navigation, and control system used by both the Apollo Command and lunar modules. The system included the Apollo Guidance Computer, which was the first computer-based silicon integrated circuits. Mr. Grace cannot be with us today, but I have a short video to play with his remarks.
Hello, everyone. It's truly an honor to be included in this ceremony. I'm very sorry that Sandy and I are not in attendance this evening with the UConn faculty, fellow inductees, and guests. We're somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean on a transatlantic cruise from Fort Lauderdale, Florida to the UK. When I graduated from UConn in 1961, my first job was with American Bosch Armor Corporation, which was located on Long Island. They designed and manufactured the inertial navigation systems used on Atlas missiles. My job was to install the inertial navigation system in the Atlas missiles and load the predetermined target data into them while they're being installed in 160-foot deep silos. In 1962, President Kennedy made a speech in Houston, Texas, challenged NASA to put an astronaut on the surface of the moon and return him safely to the Earth before the end of the century. NASA accepted the challenge, and Project Apollo was born. My company, ARMA, put together a small team of engineers, which included me, to develop a proposal to NASA to become the vendor of choice for the Apollo inertial navigation system. I worked on going to the moon proposal for a couple of months and was very excited about the task. Unfortunately, NASA chose MIT, not ARMA. I was devastated. I was really looking forward to working on the moon project. I'd gotten married after graduating and we had one small boy. I was getting very depressed every day for not being able to work on the Apollo project. Finally, I came down to breakfast one morning and told my wife I was going to go to work that day and quit my job. I wanted to go to Boston. I wanted to work on the Apollo project, and that's what we did. I didn't know anybody at MIT or Boston. Fortunately, I got hired to work on the Apollo project, and I did so for the next 10 years. I was extremely lucky to be in the right place at the right time. I was involved in all the Apollo missions, including the Apollo 11 first landing on the moon, and was a member of the Apollo 13 mission operations team, awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom for safely returning the astronauts to Earth after an explosion in their spacecraft on the way to the moon. By the way, we went to the moon and back with a computer which I helped design, and we had a total of 36K of memory. Today, my wife, Sandy, and I are very active in the Astronaut Scholarship Foundation, which provides about 50 scholarships annually to juniors and seniors in college. We'll also stay very busy lecturing on the Apollo program and space-related topics at schools, functions, and organizations across the United States. UConn, I humbly thank you for this distinguished honor. It's much appreciated.
That was great.
There you go.
Everybody clapped already, but congratulations, Mr. Grayson. He will obtain his medal in the 2025 induction ceremony.
All right, come on. There you go.
All right. Our next inductee is Robert Hodeling. Mr. Hodeling is a senior advisor and federal programs director at the Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development, where he previously served as the deputy commissioner and chief investment officer. At DECD, he was instrumental in overseeing federal programs, community development, brownfield remediation, finance and administration, strategic planning, public-private partnerships, and economic modeling. Mr. Hodeling, may I ask that you join me and say a few words?
Well, thank you for the great honor. Normally I have like all these speeches planned, but I really didn't know what I was going to say tonight, but I think I'm going to stick on one theme, which is what UConn's done for me and who it's done for me for. So when I came here back in '96, I have a strange nonlinear journey, but I started with my father's company. He actually got some investment. I was working for him in the summer before I even arrived here. And he just called me up and said, I have some funding, come work on Java and JavaScript. I didn't even know what that was. And I picked up a book and just started doing it, and it was really fantastic. And I show up, and it's really a good time. I was in the, I can't remember the name of the dorms, but the ones closest to the fields where they serve the delicious ice cream. And I remember just hanging around, and I hung out so much. True story, I got an academic probation. Too much beer. I attended Kegs and Eggs. And, you know, I'm an introvert, people who know me. But then my sophomore year, I came back, I said, you know, I have to get my act together. And I ended up finding this beautiful lady, and she happened to be an engineer. And she was trying to learn how to code Pascal. And Dean K, I thought my Pascal game was pretty good, better than my verbal game. So I did my best to become her tutor. And she's sitting here, and she's so embarrassed by this. And I was like, let me show you my for-loop routines. But anyway, but I gotta say, she's also an engineer. She also attended, she's one of the first graduates of the biomedical undergraduate program from the School of Engineering with Dr. Enderle. So, and I say this because I've accomplished a lot of great things in my career. You know, a lot of people here may know I ran for governor, things like that. And for the record, she was reading the book Becoming by Michelle Obama, and she opens up the page where Michelle's like, she told Barack not to run. I said, turn the chapter. And she's like, ah. But anyways, but I gotta say that for the many great things that I've accomplished, I really couldn't have done it without an incredible partner who I truly love. So that's it. Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, may I ask that Andrew, our second MC for the program, please come forward and assist me in inducting the remainder of our inductees for tonight.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew Geer, and it's a pleasure to be with all of you here tonight. Our next inductee is Mark Raymond. Mr. Raymond is the Chief Information Officer, CIO, for the state of Connecticut and has been a member of the state leadership team since 2011. Mr. Raymond was appointed CIO by Governor Malloy and reappointed by Governor Lamont. Mr. Raymond oversees the Department of Administrative Services Bureau of Information Technology Solutions, which includes responsibilities for the state's executive branch technology. Mr. Raymond, may I ask you that you join me and say a few words?
Thank you so much. Great to be here with all of you, and really honored for this distinction. You may not know, if you don't, if you have kids of a certain age, it's Teacher Appreciation Week, so you do know that. Probably less of you know that it's also Public Service Awareness Week. And I think it's a perfect time to think about that. I've had a long career in public service, both from the consulting industry and working for the state of government, where we applied sort of the engineering skills that we learned here to really make people's lives better. But as I was thinking about that, I recognized that most of the folks who are here from the University of Connecticut, and even our most recent person recognized, Rob, are all in the business of public service. And that concept that this university serves the public of Connecticut, all of us in a way, to bring our engineers, to have them in the state, to really improve the lives of all of our residents is not lost on me, and hopefully it's not lost on you. The concept of marriage of technology and humans. What we do in technology is attempt really hard every day, we're not even close to where we need to be, to make government easier for people to use. Hopefully all of you from Connecticut really appreciate the DMV experience, and it's far better than it used to be. But that's what we do, and we think about that application of technology, that engineered solution to make it better for the human. And I think that that's what's been happening here at the College of Engineering. It's what created that fundamental base for me to be able to do the work that we do in service to all of you. So thank you so much for the recognition and for being a part of this distinguished class. I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Our next inductee is Richard Twilley. Attorney Twilley is a partner in Authorus, an intellectual property law firm in Hartford, Seattle, and New York. At Authorus, Twilley provides patent prosecution, litigation, and analysis services for clients ranging from solo inventors to some of the world's largest companies. Attorney Twilley, may I ask that you come and join me and say a few words?
Okay, thanks very much, everybody. It's so great to be here. You know, every time I come back here, so many memories come back. I still remember showing up here for the first time on campus 32 years ago this summer. I stuffed just about everything I owned into a Foot Locker. I borrowed my dad's car, and I drove up here, and I lugged that Foot Locker up to the 4th floor in Middlesex Hall over in the jungle, and that's where my journey began. You know, I still remember my first class over in Engineering 2, where we sat down to learn a foreign language called Fortran. And to do some drafting, not with a mouse or a trackball, but with an actual pencil and T-square. And I also remember the paralysis of fear. I remember thinking it was me against the world. You know, my parents never went to college, so when it came to figuring this place out, I was on my own. But fortunately, you know, here at the, I almost said school, College of Engineering, I didn't realize it at the time, but I was building, while I was studying steel and concrete and structural design and analysis and soils, I was building a sturdy foundation for myself and for my future and for a family I had yet to meet. And I've got to tell you, what I learned here in the School of Engineering has stayed with me every step of the way. You know, after I graduated from here, 6 weeks later, I earned a commission in the US Navy, and my first duty station was to learn nuclear power alongside some graduates from some of the most esteemed universities in the United States. So I'm not talking about not just the Naval Academy, but also MIT, Duke, Harvard, Yale, you name it. Not once did I feel out of place. Not once did I feel outclassed or like I didn't belong. And then after the Navy, I went back to UConn for law school, and now I've been blessed to represent some of the most brilliant inventors anywhere on planet Earth. And I point back everything to here. If all of these great events and outcomes, if they are the effects of my time here at UConn, then the College of Engineering is their cause. And that's really affected everything I do. It's affected the way I think. It's affected the way I practice law. It's affected who I am. And UConn has really become a part of me. If you were to come home with me tonight and you were to walk around my house, you would see UConn paraphernalia in just about every single room. You would meet my two boys who are named after UConn student athletes, and who, true story, unfortunately have my wife's good looks. If you were to go into my garage, you would find two of the exact same model of car, one in national flag blue and one in white. But really, this has become a part of me, and it has been everything to me. And I'm not here to tell you, what to name your kids or what color car to buy or anything like that. But if I could just ask everybody in this room to support and defend this institution at every opportunity. And there are so many opportunities for you to do that. You can buy season tickets, particularly in football. Get out there. Everybody with UConn on their chest is representing you too. Come back here to campus. There's so many students that want to hear what you have to say. Mentor them. Offer your wisdom. Trust me, you'll enjoy it, and you can stay for the ice cream. And if you're blessed and fortunate enough to cut a check to the foundation last year, try to cut a little bit bigger one this year. Because as how many great successes we've had here at UConn, our endowment remains embarrassingly low compared to our peer institutions. UConn needs your help, and it can't get there without you. But if you do all those things, don't do it for the 50-year-old guy who's about to get a medal. Do it for that 18-year-old kid with the Foot Locker who is climbing those stairs with more dreams that he can fit inside and is coming here to make those reality. So well, the last thing I'll remember, another thing I often think when I walk around this place, about 350 years ago, Isaac Newton was writing to his friend and Robert Hooke, and he was explaining his successes. And he said the words, "If I have seen farther, it is because I stood on the shoulders of giants." So thank you, everybody here, for hoisting me up to your shoulders. The view I have had from here has taken me from the bottom of the ocean to the top of the world, and I want to thank all of you for it.
Thank you, Richard. Our next inductee is Marty Wood. Mr. Wood served in the U.S. Navy submarine force from 1964 to 1985 when he retired. He then enrolled in UConn's mechanical engineering department, earned his master's degree, and served as an assistant and associate department head until 2000. Wood also served as a member and chair of the Connecticut Invention Convention. Wood started as a lecturer in September 1986 and semi-retired from UConn in 2013. Mr. Wood, may I ask that you come up and join us for a few words.
Kazum. He has also been my mentor for many, many years. In fact, Kazum and I believe, joined the university. I joined it in January of 1985. Kazum came in 1984. Is that? Yes, yes. So I'm honored. I'm humbled to be here. Good evening to faculty, staff, friends, and family. Thank you, Dan, for nominating me, and thanks to the board for finding me acceptable. I think it's interesting that we have digesters for cow manure in this area, because my first 20 years was a dairy farmer in Pennsylvania. The next profession I was in was in the nuclear Navy for 21 years. And then I retired from the University of Connecticut in 2017. And if you total all those up, it's several years. So alongside every successful individual is their support team. For me, it's my family. My wife of 57 years has represented the senior member here at Table 9. I have a son, Brian, another son, Matthew, a daughter, Karen, and a grandson, Brady, and 10 other children that's in our photo up there as you saw it. Thank you for your support and for your counsel. Sometimes Brady has told me when I've gotten to a difficult situation, well, Papa, all you have to do is push through it. Organizational achievements are a result of many individuals. Over the 35 years that I shared with you here at the university, I've gotten ideas from peers, juniors, and seniors. And I am not unusual in getting some feedback like those of us that are being inducted tonight. And I'll share with you a couple of those feedbacks that I have. Marty, that's a bad idea. Marty, have you considered this? Or, gee, that's a marvelous thing to do. So like some of the other speakers have said, volunteerism is important. And one of the reasons that I'm serving as a volunteer in the town of Ledyard, is at every commencement, I would shake the student's hand and I would invite them to become engaged, involved in local community volunteerism. After retirement, I was concerned that a student who I had shaken their hand and challenged them to get involved as a volunteer would tap me on the shoulder and say, "Excuse me, Dean, but what are you doing as a volunteer?" So I serve on one of the boards in the town of Ledyard. And like my predecessor said, volunteers are needed everywhere. Mentoring is needed everywhere. So please consider making your community a better place to live. Thank you.
Thank you, Marty. Our final Academy inductee tonight is Doug Young. Mr. Young is the Senior Vice President and General Manager of Northrop Grumman Aeronautics Systems. Young oversees the Strike Division, which delivers highly survivable, long-range penetrating strike aircraft to support U.S. strategic deterrence. Young's portfolio includes the B-21 Raider, the B-2 Spirit, and other restricted and technology development programs. Mr. Young, may I ask you to come up and join us for a few words?
Wow, thank you. What an honor to be up here. And I love the selection of orange for that flag. It's my favorite color. So it's great to be here and be acknowledged by this group and by the Academy. I think tonight I want to share a little bit about, Richard mentioned the shoulders of giants. I'd like to talk about two giants whose shoulders I had the opportunity to stand on that are really the reason I'm here today. The first one is my dad, who got his PhD here in 1961. He did that while he was building our home that we lived in for the next 25 years, right down the street here. So I went to E.O. Smith, so I was a stores local. So my dad went on to develop lasers and optics and got like 21 patents. You know, how do you keep up with that, right? And he had an extraordinary career, but I've always always admired and tried to live up to the level of integrity that he did everything in his life with. He's still with us. He's 94. I get to see him a lot, and a real honor to be his son and to have his support throughout my career, and still have his support. The other person I wanted to acknowledge in this context was Winterthrop Hilding, Win Hilding as I knew him, who was a professor here that many of you knew. He graduated from UConn in 1938, so we're going back a few years. And he actually worked at Pratt & Whitney during World War II, and then came here to teach. And I think retired about the mid-'80s, about the time Chasm was coming on board, and Chasm had the opportunity to try to nudge him out of his office, but eventually, after several years, took over that office. But I actually spent time in that office as I was coming up through the ranks in the college in my heat transfer courses. He took me in there and showed me a space shuttle tile that had just been developed at the time. This was back in the 80s, and he held the tile in his hand, and he heated it up with a Bunsen burner. It was actually in tongs at the time, and it turned red hot, like right in front of me. And then he turned off the burner, and 10 seconds later, he handed it to me. And he was demonstrating the amazing capability of those space shuttle tiles that he had a hand in developing. He was our neighbor, so he built his home across the street from the home my dad built, actually a few years prior. And actually, also, I'm honored to have Allison Hilding here, his daughter, who's joining us tonight, who lived across the street as we were all growing up. And so Win was great. He took me to basketball games. We shot baskets in the evenings, and we used to go to the field house and go to the games back in the days when we were really fortunate and excited if we got to the NIT. So you fast forward to like 1999 and being in a hotel room in Washington, D.C., and turning on sports and hearing the Connecticut fight song on national television was a flashbulb moment for me. So kind of going full circle in the honor of being part of UConn, and obviously today it's just a mega phenomenon. So really between my dad and Win, I've had a great foundation of support, and I really believe their mentorship over the years has been something that's driven me for the last 10 years to take what time I can find and build into my schedule. And part of my career responsibilities is developing that next generation of leaders, because you know, who are the leaders that are out there that 30 years from now, 20 years from now are going to be here part of this academy and accomplishing some of the great things this collective has done. So really honored to be here. Chasm, thank you, and thank you to the college for the award. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Doug. Please join me in congratulating all the newly inducted Academy of Distinguished Engineers. But we're not done yet. The next three awards are for the Gold Rising Star Award. This award was established in 2023 and recognizes graduates of the last decade who inspire the world around them through their contributions to the field of engineering and/or the greater society while balancing the demands of being a recent graduate. Our first recipient is Dr. Riza Amin. Dr. Amin is the founder of Bastion Health, a leading digital platform revolutionizing male health through cutting-edge technology. He also co-founded Encapsulate, a startup focusing on improvising chemotherapy precision. In partnership with NASA and the International Space Station, Encapsulate is conducting a cancer study in space to gather insights that could enhance cancer treatment on Earth. Dr. Amin, may I ask you to come up and join us for a few words?
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here today. Among all these UConn engineering stars, UConn is my home, and it still is, and truly is. in 2013, I got 3 admissions for my PhD, and one of them was UConn. The idea was to go and visit all 3 campuses and then pick one. I started with UConn, and guess what? I didn't visit any others. I ended up staying in UConn, and UConn was the place and is the place. There's a great entrepreneurial community and ecosystem and support in UConn. And UConn has given me and my family a lot. I did my PhD at UConn. I did my master's in entrepreneurship at UConn. My wife got her master's in digital media and design at UConn. And even my first daughter has gone to UConn Child Lab for daycare. So based on my research at UConn, and trust me, I love all the nice facilities in this student union. There is a cinema in the first floor I never had a chance to go to. But based on all those research, I co-founded 2 companies during my PhD, Bastion Health and Encapsulate. And I'm so happy for all the support that UConn College of Engineering and the whole UConn nation provided in order to support me and my family to basically establish ourselves in UConn and based on all the sort of like foundation that we received from UConn. A special thanks to Dean Kazarunian. He was one of the first professors that I met at UConn, and I had a conversation with when I was trying to evaluate UConn, which of course it was pretty successful. And thank you to President Radenka Marek. It was fantastic in the sort of like last few years receiving all this support from her. And still UConn is supporting both Bastion and Encapsulate as 2 startups. And we are very happy to be part of this community and give back. And I'm very proud to be a Husky and give back to Huskies. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Riza. Our next recipient is Haley Palmer. Ms. Palmer is a project manager at Whiting Turner Contracting Company in New Haven, Connecticut. Her construction career has been focused on projects at higher education institutions and has included historical restoration, code upgrades, dorm and lab renovations for Yale University and the Yale School of Medicine. Ms. Palmer, may I ask you to come up and say a few words?
Good evening, everyone. I hope you've all been enjoying yourselves. First, let me say thank you to President Merrick for being here tonight, as well as Provost Del Leyva, Dean Kazarunian, Dean Berkey, and all of the other faculty who have joined us here. I also want to give a big thank you to Kylene Paris for nominating me for this award, and thank my family who's here with me tonight, both my parents and my husband. You've always been so supportive of me in all of my endeavors, and I really appreciate your company tonight. I also want to thank all of the UConn friends, including the professors and faculty members that I've met along the way, who encouraged me to push myself and helped to shape me into the engineer that I am today. Finally, I want to thank my employer, the Whiting Turner Contracting Company, who continuously supports my endeavors in reaching out to future engineers and focusing on my outreach programs. I'm truly honored to be in this room and be surrounded by so many impactful alumni of the College of Engineering. Every day I'm proud to be a Husky, but especially tonight. Since I chose to join the engineering profession and became a woman in STEM, I have been passionate about increasing access and inspiring students to join or continue on in the STEM fields. As I wrap up my speech, I would like to ask all of you here tonight, the newest inductees of the Academy of Distinguished Engineers, to consider how you may have ended up here today. You might have been exposed to STEM fields early on, you may have had a great mentor along the way, or honestly found yourself in engineering on your own. Regardless, let's remember that STEM careers are not always accessible to everyone. to repeat some of the points about volunteering that everybody has mentioned earlier, it's important that we take the time to volunteer with the next generation and expose them to different pathways in STEM. Doing so increases accessibility and ultimately improves the engineering profession by creating a strong, passionate, and diverse workforce. Thank you all for your time and have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you, Haley. Our next recipient is Melania Polanco. Polanco is a software engineer for American Express in their Enterprise Data Governance and Artificial Intelligence department. While studying at UConn, Polanco contributed to research initiatives exploring osteoporosis, environmental injustice, COVID-19 campus testing compliance, and ultrasound imaging. Ms. Polanco, may I ask you to join us up here and say a few words?
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you all tonight. I recently read a quote that said, "Life is change and growth is optional, so choose wisely." I'm very thankful that my continuous strives for growth for not only myself, but for others is being recognized in rooms I have yet to step foot in. In third grade, my elementary school had an award system in which if you were a student that never missed a homework assignment or a day of school, you were considered to be a gold shining star. I myself was a gold shining star all the way up into one of the few days leading up until summer break. I had forgotten one homework assignment at home, and I was devastated. It was 40 minutes away, and in that moment, I was no longer a gold shining star. And that meant I couldn't participate in a popcorn party in which the movie Kung Fu Panda was to be played. Now, to this day, I really have no interest in watching Kung Fu Panda, and I probably never will. But the day I was no longer a gold shining star, I went home and created a homework management and backpack organization system to make it virtually impossible for me to ever forget my homework again. And today, I know that was engineering. And so I bring the story up for two reasons. First, to acknowledge that although I wasn't a gold shining star then, today I'm a gold rising star. Thank you. And also to acknowledge that we as engineers have to face inevitable change to develop creative solutions that have the possibility to help individuals, communities, and even our world grow. So choose wisely. Any opportunity I get, I express gratitude to my parents and tell them how much I love them. So thank you. I love you both so much. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Melania.
Thank you, Kelly and Andrew, for all of your assistance. Please join me in a round of applause to all of the newly inducted Class of 2024 Academy of Distinguished Engineers and our Gold Rising Star awardees. Our last award of the evening was originally going to be presented by Dr. Lee Langston. Dr. Langston is a professor emeritus of mechanical engineering at UConn. He joined UConn back in 1977 and is renowned for his expertise in heat transfer, fluid mechanics, and thermodynamics. Langston was instrumental in convincing UConn to build the cogeneration plant that supplies electricity, heat, and cooling to the entire Storrs campus. Dr. Langston was a part of the original hiring committee for our next recipient. I regret to inform everyone that Lee will not be able to join us this evening. He is under the weather. but he absolutely is with us in spirit tonight. So, I have the incredible honor of presenting this next award, the Lifetime Achievement Award. In recognition of exemplary leadership in lifetime achievement, presented by the UConn Academy of Distinguished Engineers, we honor Dean Kazem Kazaronian. For outstanding leadership and vision in advancing the College of Engineering in excellence and innovation. Just to mention a few of his professional accomplishments to ensure you all understand his career trajectory and pedigree. Dr. Kazaronian joined the Mechanical Engineering Department in 1984 after receiving his BS, MS, and PhD degrees in mechanical engineering from the University of Illinois at Chicago. His expertise lies in analytical and computational kinematics and dynamics applied in diverse applications, such as protein-based nanomechanical devices, optimization of mechanisms and gear systems, robotics, and human motion analysis, as well as creativity in engineering education and practice. His scholarly achievements include over $14 million in grant support as either PI or co-PI, more than 60 journal papers, 90 conference papers and archival proceedings, 10 book chapters and monographs, and numerous other publications. Throughout his career at the national level, Dr. Kazaronian is active on the American Society for Engineering Education's Engineering Dean's Public Policy Committee, has been the chair of the ASME Design Division Executive Committee, and has led several major national and international conferences and technical committees. He has served on the editorial boards of the ASME and has been associate editor of various journals. In addition to being a fellow of ASME, he is the recipient of many honors and awards, including the 2018 Distinguished Engineering Educator Award by Engineers Council, the ASME Design Division Mechanisms and Robotics Award, a Lifetime Achievement Award, in recognition of cumulative contributions to the field of mechanisms design and theory in 2006, the George Wood Award in recognition of significant contributions to the field of mechanisms and robotics in 1997, and the ABB Outstanding Faculty Award also in 1997. He was inducted into the Connecticut Academy of Science and Engineering in 2008 and into the American Institute for Medical and Biological Engineering College of Fellows in 2016. Dr. Kazaronian has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to student success and to the betterment on society, which has inspired innovations in curriculum, development of interdisciplinary programs, and exciting experiential learning opportunities. Under his leadership, diversity and gender parity of the student body and faculty have been significantly enhanced through initiatives targeted at all levels of the STEM enterprise, from K-12 initiatives through undergrad and graduate education, all the way to targeting faculty hiring. Dr. Kazaronian has overseen significant growth and achievements at UConn Engineering since being appointed in 2012. During his tenure, undergraduate enrollment has increased by 75%. Numerous partnerships have been forged with industry, leading to more than $100 million in industry investments in targeted research centers, institutes, and programs. A strong commitment to development and philanthropy has resulted in a 50% increase in the college's endowment. His innovation and entrepreneurship initiatives that turn intellectual capital into economic development have supported the launch of 30 successful startups since 2016. Most notably, he has spearheaded the successful transition from the School of Engineering to the College of Engineering in 2023, elevating UConn Engineering's status and setting the stage for future development. Kazem, your enduring impact on engineering education and inspiring generations of engineers embodies the highest ideals of the profession for so many. As you embark on your new chapter, I would like to express deep gratitude for your incredible leadership and mentorship throughout the years. Your fearless approach to challenges and unwavering dedication has truly made a lasting impact on the college and each of us individually. You must know that your wisdom, encouragement, and genuine care have helped shape me, both personally and professionally. I've learned so much from you, not just about the work we do, but also integrity, empathy, and resilience. Your legacy will continue to inspire and guide us. We are all thrilled to celebrate this incredible journey you have had with us. Thank you for everything. Dr. Kazaronian, would you like to join me at the podium to say a few words?
Oh my God, thank you. It's not very often that I'm speechless. As I stand in front of you, I'm deeply honored, deeply humbled, also probably slightly suspicious that maybe my colleagues, or how did my colleagues had such a shallow pool that they ended up with me on this. But I accept this in pride, not on my behalf, but on the behalf of all of my colleagues. To borrow from what I mentioned earlier today, to me this recognition, which up to about an hour ago, I didn't know I'm on the menu. This recognition is a recognition of the faculty members, the brilliant students at the university, the wonderful staff members that we have. These people, these faculty, these staff members come to work with resilience. Day after day, they work hard, they're creative, they care, they're passionate about their students, and the result is exactly what you see around this room. So thank you so much for all of my staff members, all of my faculty members, and those students that are here. I'm a far better person every single day by being with you and by working with you. And thank you, President Merrick, Provost DeLeva. I'm also humbled that my family is here, and as I was shocked that they started showing up one by one. But I'm humbled that they're here. You know, my wife, who has been my best friend for almost half a century, a Connecticut, a UConn employee herself, and a computer engineer. I see my three sons here. Now, all three of them, as Radenka mentioned, went to UConn, and they're all, to me, distinguished engineers and scientists and lawyers. I see their better halves, Nicole and Aurora. And I see my three grandchildren here. My grandchildren, Darab is here, and Darab is a scientist and an engineer, want to be, and he will be. I see Azad here, who wants to be a dancer and an engineer, talking about fine arts and engineers. And I see Avi here, that is, to me, a disruptive engineer. And I see my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, and my wonderful niece who graduated a couple of days ago. Again, this is an amazing, amazing recognition of the work of all of you, and thank you so much for being with me and making me a better person. Thanks.
All right, I know it looked suspicious that I was walking up with a glass of alcohol, but there was a reason for that. So it's just simply to make a toast, to congratulate the class of 2024 inductees, to our current Academy members, to our Gold Rising Star, and to our Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations. And for the new inductees, to close out the evening, we're going to ask some of you folks that are being inducted this evening to come up, and we're going to do a group photo. Thank you, everyone, so much for your time this evening and for being a part of the UConn engineering family. What's that? Oh, were we? Where do you want them to congregate? In the lobby? Okay. Will all inductees please meet outside the double doors for the group photograph? Outside the double doors, yep. I think Gold Rising Stars are going to meet outside too. Yep. The group photograph for inductees will be out through the double doors. We got to get your picture. So through the double doors. Yep, they're going to do a really cool picture.